Alright everybody, let's get to the second part of the never-ending series of the metal business. Last time I was talking with Marius, our promoter from Germany, and today I'm going to speak with Dust Bolt. Dust Bolt is a fairly well-known German thrash metal band. They have been around since 2006, I believe, and they are pretty successful. They had massive gigs. Sales are going well, they got tons of fans, but the way how they found their success inside this metal business is rather weird. They had their first demo that got pushed by the biggest German outlet called Metal Hammer. Some of you might be still familiar with this name, and it was the demo of the month there. And that doesn't happen ever to normal bands. And then later on they got invited to Wacken Open Air to play there, which does not happen to metal bands that often anymore. Alright, in around 2 hours I am going to meet up with the band and then check out how they have found their way through the metal business. Enjoy! Alright, the metal business number 2, this time with Dust Bolt. How are you doing, man?
Doing good, doing good.
So the tour starting up, it's gonna be like super easy and fun for you, I assume.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be super easy, but I'm excited. Yeah, it's been a while since we played the last show, so we're all excited to be on stage again.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, somehow. Yeah, for sure.
All right.
But I try to not to think too much about it.
All right, listen, your band has had somewhat of a rather unusual biography and the way how you pumped up, you know, and the thing is I'm doing this new playlist here to just kind of find out how does the metal business like really work. Who are the guys who are doing the gigs, who are the guys behind the labels, the promoters, the people who are organizing all of that, and how do you promote your band in such a way that you get like that much of a success like your band actually has. I mean, you're a headliner, you were playing at Wacken, destroyed the place allegedly, and you know, and the thing is that there is something that the most bands just aren't fortunate enough to get, or they don't have the skills and don't know how that works. So maybe you can just expand on this. I mean, you started up in 2006, first of all, like the dark days.
I think that's so that was like some kind of main point. We started 2006. I mean, we've been like 13 years old. 13, 14 in school together. We just started, and the point was all we wanted at that point was playing shows. So what we did is some kind of DIY way. We booked as many shows as possible in youth clubs in like any shithole in any shitty place, and we
like
played
on your own initiative.
On your own. We just like we drove to some like small clubs, some small places, bars, and talked to the people. We wrote them, we called them, everything. We just tried to get gigs. We talked to other bands, and kind of we managed to like create a community of musicians and bands, and just that's how we played more and more shows by time. And we were still really young, but that trained us what it's like to be, you know, what it's like to travel 10 hours in order to play in front of 5 people. But we didn't give a shit. It was cool for us. We loved it. So we then like all the cities, all the places where we played shows, it expanded then. So we didn't have a driving license, so we took the train like 13 hours to play a gig for like 200 euros, whatever the fuck. Took the trains, like regional trains, 5 in a row and everything. I don't know, like all the equipment with us.
Like with the drum set too, or what?
Like everything. We did everything. Just because we wanted it so much, and we wanted to see what it's like. We wanted to get to know the people who've been there. And the people, they remembered us because they're like, oh, these young kids who traveled all the way by train with their gear, they're fucking cool. And that's how we like all this community, all the people we knew, like expanded by time.
So you had a network of people that were halfway reliable if you kind of just wanted to exchange gigs or do something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we talked a lot to people, you know. We were like open-minded guys, and we just like whenever we saw something interesting, we were just like, oh, what's happening there? And we just kind of made friends everywhere. So that's what we did. And it's a mixture of hard work and it's of just being, just being a cool guy and hang out with people and have a good time and get to know people. And I think that's the first step that you have to do in order to find out if being in a band and working your ass off is what you really want to do. Because if you find out, I don't like going by car 5 hours or 10 hours, I hate all, then it might be not the best thing to do, because
well, people don't actually really notice that, but there is somewhat of work also involved in all of this. It's
Totally.
Essentially you're having like the gig, and the fantasy is you're gonna get wasted, you're gonna have groupies. You actually have to perform, and then 20 minutes later you have to be in a car, then back home, and everybody has to be sober to kind of change shifts.
Exactly. You have to load your gear, you have to take care of your gear, you have to think about what gear you use. You have to learn by sound engineers and by everybody you meet. You always learn something. Every show you play, you learn something new in a creative way, in a technical way, in so many ways. Also in a business way, and you have to soak it up. And the thing is, it is hard work. Some people might not notice or might not see this, but for us, we love the work, so we love every step of it.
Okay, so, that's awesome. Now let's jump.
Not every, but
let's then again jump to the year 2010, because then it started actually. You had and I totally missed this part completely. I wasn't into the especially not thrash metal at that point of time. It was more brutal, darker days, And then it was the demo of the month that you have put out there, and it was the time where people actually read magazines, and you had CDs inside, right? So there was a massive feature there.
I think so. Yeah. What we did after we played some shows, local shows, some shows in Germany, we did some band contests just in order to expand our community and the network. And then we were okay, we need a CD. We play shows and people somehow like us, but we have to give them something after the show. So we recorded the demo tape, which we gave to a guy from Metal Hammer, Zacke, who lived in Munich back then. And he liked it a lot. And he always saw us when we went to other metal shows. He always saw us headbanging first row and everything. And he was kind of, these kids are cool. And so they listened to it and they made it the demo of the month in Metal Hammer. And this is
That's huge, man.
It's a good start for a young band, because you can say, okay, cool. Even it's not only a few local guys and the pizza guy who likes our sound. There's also some people in the press and in the media who like it. So that gives you the idea of, okay, maybe we should record an entire album and see if people like it. And that was what we did afterwards.
So it took you 4 years to decide to record an album?
No, so the demo was recorded in 2009, we released it in 2010. And 2011 we recorded the first album. And then we did, luckily we played in Wacken with this Wacken Metal Battle Band Contest.
Okay, tell me something about the Metal Battle Contest, because this is also something that, it's now 10 years later almost, and you can't really get invited to Wacken anymore just like that,
Yeah, it just happened. We just did it, It was just we started on the internet, it's Wacken Metal Battle Band Contest. You can play Wacken. It's okay, let's do it. So we played the German version of it, and we won this German version of it, and then we played at Wacken. And then, we played there and was wow. And at that point, I think, if I remember right, we had a first album already recorded.
Yeah.
And of course, once you play there and you're a new band, a young band, and you say, hey, I got a finished album in my pocket, we just need to release it. You might be lucky and find somebody who wants to put this record out. And we were lucky. So we found Napalm Records. And they were okay, these guys are cool. And we were hey, we have a whole album, it's done. We just need to put it out.
No investment here involved, just do the promo.
Yeah, we did the album by ourselves, yeah. Yes. So we made...
Well, that's a good investment for a label, obviously. You get a product.
Exactly. It wasn't such a good investment for us, but who cares?
Well, yeah, all right.
No, I mean... you have to make the risk.
So the first step
is
yes.
we wanted to record an album, and it was like expensive, and we took some credit or whatever.
Now, there's something that you are saying here the whole time over, and that is the word luck, to get lucky. We're gonna get back to that word later because maybe it's not like really completely accurate. So later on, 2012. Like as you said, the first album, then 2013, 2014, like every time just a new output, which you could argue is too much because of the inflation, where you kind of have, okay, here is the fan, then here you got the new output, and again the new output, and then a new output. And the thing is that the bands that are basically a little bit bigger, they usually kind of restrict themselves a little bit to kind of let the crowd really want it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that obviously has worked out for you, but was it also something that you were conscious about? Okay, we're gonna pump out content all the time, or?
Yeah, it happened naturally because we were like, we were young. We really wanted to see the band growing, and we really wanted to become better musicians. And so we just, like, day by day, every single day of the year, there wasn't like a single hour we didn't think of the band. It was like us. We kind of lived together in a small town, and we were just like, that was our thing, what we wanted to do. I mean, of course, we went to school, like we studied and stuff like that. But I was like when we were studying, I was writing lyrics and stuff like that because I was like, oh, fuck this, I want to go on tour with the band. And so we just worked really hard, and we always wrote songs. And so we were just like, hey, we got 10 songs, they're fucking cool, let's release an album because it's fun for us. Like all the work that's involved with it, it's cool.
This is like pure emotion, no cognition on your side. Like you didn't plan nothing, you just did it because...
No, we never planned. We never planned like something, in 2 years we're gonna do that or that, nothing. It's like, okay, where are we now and where do we wanna go and how do we get there?
Right.
And like all the time the answer was, okay, we have to work our asses off and enjoy what we're doing.
All right. So 2019, this year, the newest record, and you're in the charts.
Yeah.
Listen, this is like the second time or third time I'm talking with somebody who's in the charts, you know, and it still kind of blows my mind, you know, like Aborted that I was talking with a few months back, you know, that was in the charts. Like, how does this even occur, you know?
Well, yeah, the charts, I mean, they have like some kind of course, you know, people think, oh, you're in the charts and whatever, but these days, bands and labels, they don't sell too many records anymore, so it doesn't take that much to get into the charts.
How much does it take to get there? Like 10,000 copies or something?
No, not at all. It's like if you sell, I don't know the exact numbers, but if you sell like 500, 600 or 700, 800 copies in the first week, you're in the charts.
Oh,
because
this
like,
is how this works.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that much because you don't sell records anymore. People have Spotify, they have like YouTube, they have so many other stuff. So it's only a few people who buy records when it's released in the first week. So of course for pop acts is something different. People still buy their records like more than like for Dust Bolt. Yeah, I mean, it's been cool for us. It's been cool for us to see just that there are people out there who really like ordered our album and they bought it in the first week. That's just really cool. So for us, the support was really, really cool.
Sure, but listen, if you could kind of boil it down a little bit now, for like in one sentence, how this works for the newer bands, because what I get here, my impression is just do it all the time. Like perpetually, never stop. Take every opportunity that presents itself. It
is something like do it all the time, and I think the most important thing is to be interested in every single part of it, not to be like, like this business side, it sucks. It does suck, like most of the time. But
taxes.
Yeah, taxes, like the whole music business, and there's so many people involved. You have to deal with like. Anyway, you have to deal with idiots, but you also have to deal with great people. And the thing is, you got to do is to be interested and to get to the interesting and to the good people who teach you something.
Yeah.
And then you learn something, and then you grow. So it's some kind of being interested in everything. And I mean, the business part and all the promo part and all the social media and everything that comes with it. These days, it's a big part, and it's a big part of work that has to be done.
Yes.
So being in a rehearsal room playing music is just unfortunately just a small part of the whole thing. But it's the most important thing, of course, the most important part. But yeah, there's so much other stuff to do, and you just have to do it.
Well, all right. I was playing in a black metal band, playing bass, and after a few months of rehearsing and doing stuff, it came out from the band leader that it's kind of a hobby,
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. My expectation was actually just, we're gonna rehearse, then we're gonna go to gigs, then obviously we're gonna put out records, and then we're gonna play live so that we get girls. Because my idea was the further we advance as a band, the more girls there are going to be there for me. This is something that completely shocked me at that point of time. So it was just something that is basically a waste of time.
Yeah.
If it's a hobby.
Yeah.
And as I understand, the commitment you put out there is just like real professional.
Exactly. Yeah. We just wanted to see how far we can get it. That was like everything we wanted to see. How far can we push ourselves? How far can we get? How professional can we get? So I mean, it's always fun involved. There's always fun involved, but it's just like we've been so interested in this whole journey that we just couldn't get enough of it. And that's why we still like keep doing it. It gets harder and harder to combine it like with a real day life.
Yes.
Because you can't make any money out of music, not in our status.
Yes.
But we still do it. And the harder it gets, the more somehow interesting it gets.
It's challenging.
Exactly, because it's challenging. Yeah, and that's what I love, for example.
And now I'm going to remind you that you said that you got lucky. Is there any luck involved if you're just pushing all the time? I mean, it's like it's mathematics. At some point of time, the wall's going to crumble if you just run against it like 2 million times.
Well, I think if you really put like a passion in something, and if you work really hard, luck comes naturally. That's what I...
It's a consequence of just trying all the time, huh?
Yeah, trying, failing, like seeing what you've done wrong, stand up again, and just, I think at some point you will be lucky.
Yes, all right. Well, this is some good motivational prep talk. You could kind of go and give like TED Talks. Well, sir, thank you very much. This is going to be like an awesome, very good part of this new series. Dust Bolt, Underground Metal TV. See you soon.